Topic 7 is called similarity. In this topic, we'll look at shapes that aren't necessarily congruent to each other, but they have similar features. To get an idea of how to create similar-looking shapes, we're going to cover Lesson 7.1, Dilations. Please add everything that I write in the video to your note packet. Let's start off with the definition of dilation. A dilation is a transformation that maps any point x to a new point x prime. We do this in such a way that x lies on a segment from x to point C. Oh, there's two ands there. We don't want that. And x prime is also on that segment for the center of dilation C. So it's kind of casting through x to x prime. And the scale factor is going to be known as lowercase k. So there's some pretty specific things here. We've got x, x prime, center of dilation point C, and scale factor k. Let's take a look at this picture below. Similar to topic 3 when we did transformations, do you remember reflections, rotations, and translations? We had a pre-image and then we had the final image. Looking at the letters for each triangle in this particular picture, the letters that don't have the dashes are the pre-image shape. And then the letters that are with the dashes, that's the image triangle. So notice we're making the picture bigger. The pre-image triangle is smaller than that final image. I also know that we have point C over on that right-hand side. There's my center of dilation. It's kind of like you're going through C with a laser, and you're going through or going to X on the pre-image and kind of transforming it all the way over to X prime. And all three of them are on the same segment. All right, on the right-hand side, there's some other information important about dilations. You'll notice the angles on the two triangles. They actually don't change size. Angles will stay the same. We can also say that they're congruent to each other. The sides, though, obviously change. One shape is bigger than the other. That means sides are proportional. All three sizes change by the same amount. And that same amount is called a scale factor. If your scale factor, which we call letter K, is bigger than 1, like the picture on the left, our shape gets bigger. And this is called an enlargement. If the scale factor is between 0 and 1, then the shape would actually get smaller. And that would be called a reduction. So how do we know? How do we determine what our scale factor is? We use side lengths. And the order would be K equals, take any image length divided by the corresponding pre-image length. And whatever that fraction simplifies to would tell you if the shape is an enlargement or a reduction. One last thing to note is the notation. Similar to when we did reflections, rotations, and translations, if you have a dilation as your transformation, we're going to use the letter D. If you're on a graph and you're at 0, 0 at the origin, then all you need to do for your little sub number is include the scale factor, so include K. If the center of the dilation is somewhere else and we noted it as point C, then we use capital D for dilation, and we actually looks like an ordered pair. We start with lowercase k as your scale factor, and then whatever your center of dilation is if it's not at the origin. And we'll talk through that on a few examples down below. In our first example, it says explore and reason. Roosevelt High School sells a sticker and a larger car decal with the school logo. How are the sticker and the decal alike? How are they different? Well, if we look over here on the right-hand side, the decal is the bigger of the two, and then the stickers are on that right-hand side. So how are they alike? Well, they look similar. The image looks the same. And how are they different? Well, they definitely aren't the same size. One is bigger. Pretty easy to tell that. And then it says, suppose the sticker and decal are shown next to each other on a computer screen. If you zoom in to 125%, what would stay the same on the figures and what would be different? So if we took this screen right here and zoomed it in, I can actually kind of show you what that would look like. Take a look at the picture now. If I zoom it in to make it bigger, what stays the same? Well, the angles would stay the same. And the only thing that would change, whoa, kind of hold still there. There we go. The only thing that would change are the side lengths. So when it says what would stay the same, angles stay the same. And what would change? The sides. And if we're doing on a zoom to 125, the sides get bigger. That's really what 7.1 is going to be about, making shapes bigger or smaller. Let's see what it looks like on a graph. It says rectangle ABCD prime is a dilation with center P of quadrilateral ABCD. How are the side lengths and angles of ABCD, which would be the pre-image, related to ABCD prime? So again, recognize that without the dashes, that's the pre-image. And then the dashes are the shape when you're done. By definition, the angles stay the same. So we could even write angles are congruent. And then the sides, obviously the ABCD prime is bigger, so the sides get bigger, but they are proportional. A lot to write down there. There we go. In order to find the notation, we have to figure out our scale factor. So over here on the right, I'm just going to write that out. What is our scale factor? How much bigger are all the sides getting? Remember, by definition, scale factor is image divided by pre-image. Now, it shouldn't matter what pair of sides we compare, as long as it's the same pre-image letters and image letters. For example, if I say segment B to C right here, that would be my pre-image. That has a length of 2. The corresponding image BC prime up here at the top, that has a length of 6 squares. So if we do 6 divided by 2, that's 3. That's our scale factor, which should make sense. It's bigger than 1. The shape is getting bigger. Also, one thing to notice is we're on a graph, but we're not really using a coordinate system at 0, 0. So our center of dilation is point P. That's meaningful when we write out our notation. This is going to be kind of picky, and it takes up a little bit of space, so my apologies for that. We're going to use capital D for dilation, and then scale factor goes next, but that's like a little sub 3. And then because point P is our center of dilation, that goes after. So it's 3 comma P. I'm trying to get that to fit there. And then we have to do kind of like what we did with transformations back in topic 3. We have to write the pre-image first and set it equal to the image, A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. Please make sure to have all of that written out on your paper. Writing out the notation is a little tricky, so we want to make sure we're confident in that process. In our next example, we have another rectangle. It says rectangle WXYZ prime is a dilation with center point P again of WXYZ. How are the side lengths and angle measures related? Well, we know by definition, we're just kind of repeating what we wrote up above to really ensure that understanding. Angles are congruent. So like angle y is equal or congruent to angle y prime, x and x prime, and so on. And sides are proportional. Okay, just like the example up above. But notice in this picture, everybody, WXYZ is bigger than WXYZ prime. So that means this shape is going to be a reduction. It's going to get smaller. And in order for us to figure that out, we need to determine the scale factor. So that's going to be K equals. Again, take any pre-image and image side lengths. So I'm going to tack WZ on the bottom. And that side length, if I count from W to Z, that's 6. But then WZ prime is only 2. So if we do image over pre-image and reduce the fraction, it reduces to 1/3. So again, that's a reduction. And that makes sense because our image is smaller than what we started with. Also, everybody, I just wanted to show you on the picture how the definition for the center of dilation works. So if I connect P through Y, through Y prime and Y, notice all three of those points are on the same segment. And that would happen if I went from P through X prime to X, and then P through Z and Z prime, and W prime. So just kind of keeping that definition in mind. All right, last but not least, let's get back to our notation. Remember, this is capital D for dilation. And the scale factor is 1/3. So it's kind of hard to get that to squeeze in there. And our center of dilation is point P. And then we started with WXYZ, our pre-image. And we end up with W prime, X prime, Y prime, Z prime, our final image. Finding a dilation is pretty easy when you can count the squares. But sometimes a picture with a dilation isn't given on a coordinate system. This one says quadrilateral JKLM prime is the, again, dilation of JKLM. What is the scale factor? Well, the picture is kind of tricky because they don't tell us where point P is, but there's a dot kind of on the inside. Do you guys see where that dot is over here on the right? I'm going to zoom this out so we can kind of get a better visual. Whoops, maybe hang tight. There we go. So the dot right here that we want to use in the middle, we're going to call that point P. There's our center of dilation. So you could connect J up to J prime, through K to K prime, L to L prime, M to M prime. So same rule for the center of dilation. The good thing about this is when we look at the picture, we know the length of LK, it's 12, and we know the length of L prime K prime, it's 18. That will allow us to determine our scale factor and write our notation. Sorry, let me zoom this back out so we have some room to write here. Our scale factor K equals, remember it's image divided by pre-image. So the image is that bigger number, the 18, divided by pre-image, which is 12. So here's where it gets a little crazy. We've got to reduce this fraction. Both of the numbers are even, so I can divide them both by 2. That's pretty easy. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Well, 6 is even, but 9 isn't. So 2 doesn't go into both of them, but 3 does. We want to make sure we can simplify this fraction into its smallest terms. And if I do 9 divided by 3, I get 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now 3 over 2 is bigger than 1, even though it's a fraction. So this is an example of an enlargement. And that should seem reasonable because JKLM prime is bigger. It's on the outside of JKLM. All right, let's try that notation. Capital D for dilation. Our scale factor is 3 over 2. And we're going to do that point P again in the middle since we're not on a coordinate system at the origin. And then you literally just write JKLM, the pre-image, equals JKLM with primes. There we go. Just like that. The nice thing about dilations is you only get 2 choices. It's either going to get bigger or smaller. That's it. So for the picture on the right, it says, is the dilation an enlargement or a reduction? When we look at ABC prime, notice that's smaller than ABC. That would make this dilation a reduction. The image is smaller. Oops, smaller. There we go. Let's verify that by determining the scale factor. So again, take any image divided by its corresponding pre-image. And you can pick any pair that you want. The ones I like to pick are either straight up and down or straight across because that's really the easiest to count. From A to B, that's 2 squares. A prime to B prime, that's only 1 square. By definition, it's image divided by pre-image. I just like to keep writing these definitions down so that we remember the terms. And the image length is only 1, the pre-image is 2. So it's 1/2, which should make sense because we said it was a reduction. All right, I'll pause the video and see if you can write out the notation. And then when you think you have it, press play and we'll see how you did. All right, how did you do? Capital D for dilation, scale factor is 1/2, and our center of dilation is point P. Then the pre-image in parentheses, ABC, equals the image ABC prime. On the next page, we have one final example where we're actually going to make the dilation happen. Here's our final example. Graph triangle ABC given these 3 coordinates for A, B, and C. Now over here on the right, if you look at the graph right now, everybody, really quick, look at the center, like where it says 0. To the right, you've got +1, and up above it, you've got +1. All things good. But on the left, it says -1. Again, that's correct. It's the bottom part that's kind of strange. We don't show -1, it just goes right to -2. I'm not a super big fan of that, so watch what I'm going to do. Okay, luckily I paused that because it took me like 3 tries to draw that line on the screen. Go ahead and draw a really light line underneath all the numbers, and that should represent kind of the grid line for -1. I don't know why they didn't have that on there, but we need -1 for a couple of our points. So yeah, please do that. Once you have that line drawn in, pause the video and plot those 3 points. Let's sketch our pre-image triangle ABC. And then once you've done that, connect the 3 points, press play, and we'll draw the dilation together. And there you have triangle ABC. So notice we had to put point A on that line that we drew in. So it was a good idea to have it there first. From here, it says find D3 of triangle ABC. It doesn't have that second part, that point. That means the center of the dilation is at 0, 0. And we don't really have to do anything with it. It's not a big deal. We just don't have another point marked on our graph for it. Also, the 3 is our K value. We're going to make our dilation 3 times bigger, so that's called an enlargement. And I like to actually make a table, so go ahead and draw this on your paper. The left-hand side is just going to be A, B, and C from the pre-image. So A is at 2, -1, B is at -1, 2, and C is -3, 0. There we go. If we have an enlargement, K equals 3 for our scale factor, all we're going to do is multiply everything by 3. That means A prime is going to go from 2 to 6, and -1 to -3. I just multiplied by 3. B prime is going to kind of flip that around. -1 will go to -3, and 2 will go to 6. And then C prime will go all the way over from 3 to 9, but then 0 is going to stay 0. Let's plot those 3 new points to see how much bigger our shape looks on our graph. If A is at 6, -3, that's way over here to A prime. B is at -3, 6, that's way up here for B prime. C to C prime goes all the way over to 9, 0. Now let's go ahead and connect those 3 points. I'm going to try my best to do that here. I'll go from A to C prime first. That was easiest. B all the way down to C prime, and then B prime all the way down. It actually kind of connects at C and keeps going. So notice we've created that dilation. We made our shape 3 times bigger than the original. And this is lesson 7.1.